Billed as 3 days of peace and music, fueled by sex, drugs, rock and roll, and a wish to prove the prior generation wrong, the Woodstock Music Festival in 1969 has come to be the focal point of an era. I've long been interested in the counterculture of the 60s and 70s and avidly listened to the music of the time. Many of you have heard much of the music I'm talking about or have participated in hippie-themed events and would be best served to learn about the event which cemented the legacy of the culture. The making of the festival, though not optimal, gave the actual concerts the character needed to have a profound effect on American culture for years following. A crew led by producer Michael Lane came up with the idea of a festival in hopes of gaining funds to put a music studio in the arts community of Woodstock, New York, which served as home to artists such as Bob Dylan, Van Morrison, and Leon Russell. Though originally scheduled to take place in Woodstock, once that location fell through, the site was moved to 600 acres of farmland close by Bethel, New York. Workers began building the facilities, anticipating attendance of 50 to 100,000. People began arriving and camping out days before the show. Many were without money, and to keep the spirit of the concert, Lane decided to make tickets free for those who hadn't already purchased one. Attendance surpassed original estimates, reaching upwards of 500,000 guests. Perpetual rainfall left audience members camping in the mud, though the anticipation of their favorite bands performing kept spirits high. Soon enough, Friday came and fans awaited performances. Traffic and weather limited access to the stage, and performers were brought in by helicopter. Richie Havens opened the show, and due to delays was forced to play a 4-hour set. He was followed by acts such as Sweetwater and Arlo Guthrie. Overall, day one was rather unorganized, but still fans were engaged and waiting for more. Gray Slick awoke the crowd at 7 a.m. on Sunday morning, announcing the commencement of Jefferson Airplane's Morning Maniac music. The rest of the day was headlined by acts such as the Grateful Dead, Santana, and Janis Joplin. Rain and heavy foot traffic turned a former hayfield into a mud pit as the festival went on. Woodstock's third day featured acts such as Joe Cocker and the band, as well as newly formed superband Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, their performance here being only their second gig as a band. The festival was concluded with 3 acts, the last of which being megastar Jimi Hendrix. Unfortunately, attendance was waning at the time of his set, but Hendrix made up for the underwhelming turnout with his electric rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Woodstock 1969 was the largest music festival today, and at the time set the standard for events of its ilk to come. It has come to define the culture it represents and is recognized even by those who aren't fans of the music. Before concluding, I'd like to bring attention to the talent at the show, as well as the effects it had on America's future. Many bands which came to be staples in the music industry first earned their stripes here, and those which had already achieved fame gave the festival initial recognition it needed to become the iconic event it is today.